Yeah, that's one of my beliefs right there. Welcome, I'm MTK, and that's one of my beliefs right there. On the morning of that day when the United States bombed the ancient capital of Mesopotamia, thousands of year old city, Baghdad, they bombed it to the Stone Age, leveled it. That was an illegal act. When the 2,500 paratroopers dropped into the northern part of Iraq where the Kurds are, that was an illegal act. Both acts violated the UN Charter. Hans Blix was in position. There was no evidence of the WMDs. The United States of America and England and Spain and maybe 2 or 3 other countries banded together and broke the United Nations Charter and started an illegal war. And no one could stop them. The United States itself named it and labeled it an endless war. And so illegal, endless war continues from March 20th of 2003 to this day. 16 years it'll be. Illegal, endless war. I'm a pacifist, and I have been throughout all of this experience and the experiences before it. I am 52 years old, which means I did not participate in Vietnam or Korea, and I did not participate in any of these Iraq incursions or Kosovo. But I watched all of them voted into existence and executed by Clintons, Democrats, and Bushes, Republicans, and they're illegal and they're wrong. And the metaphor for it is, it's like there's a block that ends in a cul-de-sac, and there's a really, wealthy family, powerful family in one house, and that family has 150 guns and a big, physical, strong dog and 4 sons who are all physically very strong and imposing and can beat up anybody on the block. And everybody else on the block just wants to go about their business, and that family keeps showing up and telling people how things have to go. And when we say, hey, we don't want to, they say, yeah, but we're keeping the place secure by being all strong and big and strong. This is how the world is today under the United States' hegemony, using capitalism and global capitalism as its mechanism. The country which has now elected a slumlord and the vilest form of capitalist as its president. And he throws temper tantrums to get what his handful of predominantly white supremacist friends and allies want. And the rest of us sit here going, oh, come on, please just stop. And yet, through the means of Facebook and other social media, lies are transported, and people end up supporting him for complete false rationale. You can't talk to them about not believing it without them becoming enraged. You can't share with them real information. They've embraced know-nothingism in the name of their movement, their spirit of their movement for white power and capitalism and right-wing legislation that protects their interests. It is a miserable time in the United States of America. In the late 90s, I was excited for the millennium. I thought the new millennium was going to be awesome. In the late 90s, even though a lot of what had been happening with television was screwing things up, in the academy, I was excited to be reading critiques of the West. It was building. It was building toward a more honest discourse at that time. And by 98, 99, you had Ronald Takaki, A Different Mirror. You had remarkable works coming out. And then the events of 9/11, and then the authoritarian hand, and now 16 years of illegal, endless war. Which is why the events of 9/11, in whose name all of this has been done, in which's name all of this has been done, should garner more of your interest. The deep state has concocted both wars and false flag operations before, and this one has ruined the quality of life in this country. Coupled with these social media software, our nation grows stupider, less informed, more ignorant, and more brutal, physical, and dumb. All of those dreams and thoughts we had about teaching everybody and moving into a peaceful 21st century have been blown away like dust. And I'm mocked. Pacifists mocked. Socialists mocked. Communists, dare I say it, mocked, made fun of, told, shut up, it's not your society, in the same way that natives are told, you lost, when it finally comes down to it. And that is sickening, because the aspect of humanism, the part of you that you're exhibiting, you wealthy, powerful, mean-spirited, rude, violent, military, possessive, demanding, arrogant, white people, you're the evil, if you think about it. In your heart is a perception of where this world is going, how many resources will be left, and for whom you want them to be. And you are willing and able to support families like the Bushes and the Trumps to help you to exercise your will, to ensure your clan survives. You are actively engaged in not perceiving us all as equal. You're actively engaged in deciding who is not equal and eliminating them. And these 10 minutes are brought to you by a person who can see right through it.